We're just going to dive right into talking points for today. First and foremost, I want us to take just a second. Take just a second and think about where you are in life, specifically as it pertains to relationships. But first and foremost, think about the relationship you have with yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself. How much do you love yourself? How do you express your love to self? What are the things that you do for yourself? Now, a lot of you may be thinking many things that fall into just traditional ideas. But typically, that's that's why so many people suffer in life, is because the typical ideas typically come from the outside. They come from a single, overarching, known, expressive belief system around how we should believe, how we should view the world around us, so on and so forth. So today we're gonna jump right into it, and we'll probably spend a good 15 minutes or so this morning. The relationship escalator is a scam, and you were never required to ride it. So what does that mean? Let's take it one piece at a time. The relationship escalator, first and foremost. If you think about an escalator, it takes you from one level to another level. Takes you from one level to another level. It's a scam, okay? It's something that's fraudulent. It's something that you're probably going to try and take advantage of, and it's not going to work out the way that you really want it to. And you're never required to ride it. We all feel like we were required to ride it because society told us. So let's kind of let's take it one by one. The relationship escalator. So we'll really break it down. And the traditional society led relationship escalator. First you meet a person. You meet an individual, you see them, you engage with them, you are attracted to them. All those things. And eventually you go out on a date. You start the process of dating. Typically, at the beginning of that process of dating, you choose to be exclusive. You choose to be exclusive to one another and to exclude anyone else from that relationship. So you're exclusive for a while you're dating, falling in love with one another, and you're taking things seriously, and you realize, you know what, we actually want a life together. And oftentimes that next step is you stepping into a phase of living together. So you're living together, typically during that process, after you're living together, you get to a point where the love deepens, and one of you, depending on the type of relationship you're in and the type of person you're with, one of you proposes to the other, and you get married. And as you're married, typically, you have the ups and downs of life, and you're with that one person, and you think about the typical marriage vows where you commit to that one individual in sickness and health, and what riches are poor, and death do us part. And you're with that one person. I almost said stuck with that one person, but no, it was an intention. We're not stuck, but you're with that one person, and you're with them, and you're with them, and you're with them, and you're supposed to stay with them based off of the traditional vows. You're supposed to stay with them until death do you part. But if we really look at the course of history, if we look at our own relationships, and we look at statistics, we will see that it is more often than not that a pair, after they get together, after they make that commitment of being with one another, only with one another, after they make that commitment, oftentimes what follows is hardship. Oftentimes what follows are moments of desire for someone on the outside. There comes infidelity. There comes so many different things that make that individual rethink, reanalyze why they said I do. So now we introduce non-monogamy, and we'll stay surface level for today, and we'll go deeper at another time. We introduce non-monogamy, and in non-monogamy, there is no commitment to only one. Now, at times, there may be a primary one, but there isn't only one. And when there are more, it increases the probability of experiencing a higher level of fulfillment across more domains of life. Whereas a traditional relationship, that escalator takes you alongside one individual. That one individual can only quench the thirst of certain aspects of your life, especially over time. And this is nothing to say that the individual is lacking. No, he or she may be whole, but they're whole only for one aspect of your life. So when we think about the traditional path, when we think about the relationship escalator, and we say that it's a scam, we mean that society as a whole, as a majority, has been pushing upon the masses of us that there is only one way when there's an infinite number of ways. So many different options. We aren't limited. We aren't limited. We're only limited by that which we allow to be placed upon us, that which we choose to believe, that which we choose to operate within. But when you allow the right people around you, you learn that decisions can be made. Decisions should be made from the inside out. From the inside out, but with the communication, the consensus, the approval agreement of those all who will be involved. So when you think about a relationship, if you're one of those individuals who've experienced what has been token serial monogamy, serial monogamy is feeling forced to be monogamous over and over and over. Short lived relationships because you feel forced to be monogamous with that one individual, but it's not completely fulfilling. So the relationship dies, you move to another. It's not fully fulfilling. It dies, you move to another. And it's just a serial attempt to find someone to fulfill all of you. Now realizing that that approach is a scam. Now you may be listening and you're like, it's not a scam. You're just greedy. It's not a scam. You just want too much. It's not a scam. You're just whatever adjective you want to throw out there. But the numbers don't lie, especially when we look inside the United States, where more than half of individuals that get married end up getting divorced. And the statistics also say that when they go for a second marriage, the higher the percentage of them getting a divorce. So the first time they got the divorce, they tried to do it again. They tried to apply for the scam again, and it took them out so much quicker. So as we wind down today, I want you to evaluate your previous relationships, and maybe evaluate the one you're in right now. Evaluate whether you're partaking in the scam, and ultimately you feel like, you know what, I want to come out of this. Or just accept the fact that you have completely folded into the scam and just embrace it, because you can't save those that don't want to be saved. You can't force feed anyone that doesn't want to eat, doesn't want to consume the nutrients that you're trying to provide. But at least take the time to step back and analyze, so that you have a realization within yourself that I'm partaking in this relationship escalator that society has designed, and society continues to fail when they try to operate within it. Now, this is not to say that no monogamous connections, that no monogamous relationships can succeed. It's just simply to say that over time, the vast majority learned that this individual that I said I do to, I love them, I care for them, but there's aspects of me that they can't care for. There's aspects of me that they can't touch, that they can't stimulate, that they can't bring alive. And when you step back and analyze the fact that it is okay, when you step back and analyze that and you accept that it's okay, you communicate with them, and either you fall in alignment and understand, hey, there is this construct called non-monogamy, and let's look into it. Let's look into it and maybe give it a go. And if you fall in alignment, what has been seen is through thorough and full, unfiltered, vulnerable communication that increases the likelihood of fulfillment. You don't have to be everything for one person, but you can be that one thing. You can be those few things, the best that they can ever experience them, but at the same time, allow them to experience that which you can't fulfill from another source. So I was outside of the app just now as I'm speaking, and my eyes closed. Didn't realize that the God has joined us. And yes, love, it is a cage. It's a cage that so many of us step into, and we get to the point where we see that cage as our world. We see that cage as the limits of our existence. And only after we intentionally break out of that cage do we see how broad the world actually is, how much excitement, how much joy, how much fulfillment is actually out there. And spread our arms, spread our legs, stretch our legs, spread our wings, and actually operate at a much fuller capacity. So that's our time for today. I appreciate everyone for joining. For those of you who did join us live, for those who will be watching the replay, please feel free to engage in the comments. Give me pushback. Give me any comments regarding how you feel about the topic. If you feel like you're on that societal relationship escalator that you're not being fulfilled by, and you want to learn how to get off of it, you want to learn, okay, what is this whole non-monogamy thing all about? Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation and see if we can release you from your cage as well. Off of that note, thank you again for joining us. We will be back here with a different yet similar topic on Friday morning. Please take some time to enjoy the content throughout our page. Make sure you give Miss Tatrika a subscription, a follow, and check out some of her latest work, because I guarantee you it is definitely worth the time. And until the next time, you all stay well and fuck societal expectations.